What's up, my friends? Welcome back to yet another tutorial Thursday here in my little cave. You know that name I've been trying to figure out for this thing here all along. Been calling it the cave, and I guess I just got kind of used to calling it the tying cave. So let's just stick with that name, I'm thinking. And I don't know. What do you think? Today we're tying this cool looking fly with a lot of movement and also a lot of expensive feathers, but you can tie it with some other materials, and I think I will be making a video on a cheaper version. It's called the Space Invader. Thanks to my friend Karl-Arne from Instagram for coming up with that cool name. I owe you a beer, man. I guess this fly is not the easiest fly to tie, but even though you are just starting out, I will do my best to help you along the way. And this being a video, you can always press pause and rewind a little bit and watch it over again. So let's jump down to the vise here as usual, and I'll guide you through this tie as best as I can. Okay, so here we go. I will be tying this one in a color called salmon pink, which is this pale pink. Really cool color, if you ask me. Really seems to work wonders here in Denmark, especially on the sea trouts. So what I did here was I made a dubbing loop. I hope you can see this super thin tying thread I'm using here. I have cheated a little bit and placed 2 spey feathers in one of these magic tools from Mark Petichon, where you basically press 2 feathers down. You will see it in just a bit. You press the feather down in a clip, and then you pick it up with this other clamp or clip or whatever you want to call it. So I want to place these feathers in my dubbing loop. Careful, because these are really thin and very much alive, these feathers. So just take your time with it. And you want them as close as possible to the thread here, the butt ends. I think this is looking good, so I'll spin this up. Now these long fibers, you may have to be pulling them out a bit along the way like this, because they get stuck. So again, just take your time with this and hopefully have fun with it. I know I am. It's also a good idea to have a fairly strong thread here when you're spinning these dubbing loops. Get a pair of pliers on that. And then you just want to help them a bit along the way by moistening your fingers. Stroke it backwards just like this, and then just start turning. Get this thread here out of the way. and then just, whoops, touching turns. I guess you could tie these in by just tying in the spey feathers in the tip, and then just turn it like you would normally with a hackle, but I think this gives a better result, but because the tying thread is so thin compared to the hackle stem. Get this secured. Cut off the loop. And then you wanna brush out the remaining trapped fibers in here. And then just tie on top of it all the way back to the hook point down here. See that? I should maybe have chosen a black t-shirt for this, but there is a thread on here. This is no magic. That's looking good for her tail. Then I will take a few strands of flash. In this case it is Mirage flash, and I think the color is called Opal. Really reflects a lot of light, so I will only be using 2 strands and double them like this. So I'll get 2 on the side facing towards me, and the other 2 here. Catch those, turn them around, and get them on the opposite side. Now these are way too long, so I will trim them in different lengths so they don't tangle as easily. It's looking good. Now I will be adding some of these flat wings. These are, if you can get a color like this is actually a unique variant, so I guess that means that there are no other colors exactly like the one I have here, but you can definitely get these white grizzly colored feathers. I just think they look really cool on this. So 2 of those. I want to measure them out so they are a tiny bit longer than the feathers and the flash back there. It's right around here. Cut those off. And now here's one of my small tricks, because I really, well, I don't hate tying these in, but it can be really tricky. So what I do is I just place a drop of UV resin on the tip of the feather here, and I just place it exactly where I want it, which is on the side of the hook. And cure it. Same for the other side. Drop on there. Work it in a bit. And then just cure that as well. And these feathers aren't going anywhere. Just like that. Now you can't, whoops. Now you can't tie on top of this. You do it a bit carefully. Just like that. And they won't turn on you. Onto some dubbing here. This is an ice dub. In fluorescent shell pink, which look really good on this fly, I think. I will just be dubbing this on the thread like this and turn it. You want a good amount on here, so you can brush it out afterwards. So right around here, which is, I don't know, half a centimeter from the hook eye. Now here's the Mark Petitjean clip I was talking about. I've already placed 2 feathers in it here. They go in there like that, and then you take this clip here, kind of hard to see, place it over it, and then you are left with the stems exposed back here, so you can cut them off really easily. And that is what I will be doing now. Now I have made a video on this a year or 2 back without any commentary on. I'll link it down below, where I show in details how to place these exactly in the clip tools. So make a dubbing loop again up here, cure it. Right back there, get the tying thread out of the way, get your twister on there. Now it can help to put on some saliva or some fly tying wax if you have some, because this thread is really slippery, and these feathers are, as mentioned, really thin. And will fall out if you aren't careful. So again, take your time here to place it as close to the core of the dubbing loop as possible. Spin it up. If you're wondering what kind of dubbing spinner I'm using here, is the one from CNF Design, which has a ball bearing inside, which makes it a lot easier to spin up these dubbing loops really fast if you need to. But an ordinary one will do just as fine. Just like that. Same story again here in the front. Get these fibers back and then just start turning. Now this looks like a mess right now, but we will correct that. You can also see here that thick amount of dubbing I put on underneath here really helps to push out the fibers and make a teardrop shape, which is a good thing. Just all the way up to the hook eye here. Now if you are wondering how much or how many feathers or how long and whatnot to you have to put in the loop, and to get it to stop right there where it did, I couldn't tell you, because it's just I guess it's intuition. You just have to look at the length of the hook and just go with your gut. I don't measure out these things. I know some people do, but I don't measure it out. And well, we will be making a small head up in front here with UV resin, so I'm guessing it's better you stop a bit too soon than too late, so you cover the entire hook eye with feathers and UV resin, so you won't be able to get your tippet in there. That's looking good. Want to make a whip finish here. Two are more than enough, because we will be covering it with resin. Get the thread off. And now we want to brush out some of that dubbing underneath. Just be mean to it here. Should be safe. To turn this a bit. I and work it all the way around. Now that is starting to look really good. So now I want to put on some ice, and I think I'll go with some 5mm from Flyman Fishing Company. This one right here, the living ice. I think they are the coolest ever. Then first push the fibers down a bit like this with your finger. Put a small drop on here where you want the eye. Press it on there. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's get that cured up. This is just so the eyes are staying put. A first step, you can say. To the other side, same thing. Press the fibers down. Put a drop on there. Get the eye on. Cure it. I don't know if you can see those fluorescent colors really lighting up in there, but this looks really, really cool. Now you want to build the rest of the head here. You don't need a whole lot, just so that the eyes won't come off. So what I'll do is I'll place a drop right up here between the eyes, and then just work the fibers a bit here so it can soak in between the materials. And this is also the time where you can shape the head. So I will lift them up a bit like this. To help build that teardrop shape I was talking about. Cure it. Turn the fly around. Do the same thing on the bottom here. Get a drop in there. Let it soak in. It's looking good. Now onto the final coat. This is just to make it pretty. You could fish it like this. You know, don't we all like our flies to look good in the box as well? At least I do. Just a thin layer all the way around and on the eyes, so they definitely won't be going anywhere. And like I've mentioned before, the trick to getting a perfect head shape is to keep the fly turning in your vise just like this. So that is what I'll be doing for this last step. Make sure you cure this a good long time. Just to be sure. Brush it up a bit, the fly here. I don't want these short ones here. I'll pluck those out. This is usually just something I do if I want to photograph these flies. And I want it to look pretty for you guys. So that there is the Space Invader. So that was it for today, guys. I hope you dig this little Space Invader. It's just a really cool pattern with a lot of movement, and I'm pretty sure it will fool a sea trout or two, maybe even pike if you tie this in bigger sizes. And well, I can't imagine any predatorial fish that won't smack this one, even in other colors. So give it a try, let me know what you think about it, and I guess by the time you guys are seeing this, it's almost Christmas. So Merry Christmas to every one of you. I think I can manage to push out one more video before the new year, so I guess I will be seeing you guys next week, and take care until then.
Oh, yeah.